Okay, this little video is about this is known as Tim Hortons, which is the coffee chain. But it's basically about the kind of buildings that we have in Strip Mall City. Now, this particular one, this little area here, this entranceway, this rounded area, this is reminiscent of Vancouver, Canada, and the leaky condominium crisis, because that kind of architecture was always used in Vancouver's condominiums to make them look California. But Vancouver, British Columbia is not California. It is way, way wetter. It is a rainforest in the winter. And so what happens is that these kind of architectural disasters happen. Flat roof and, this rounded out area, it catches the water and rots. In my city, it's actually fine. We don't have a rainforest, but to me, it's just reminiscent of Vancouver's condominium crisis. Okay, what else do we have here? We've got Joe Ugly sign here. This is very ugly. Very ugly, and I can't make it focus. There, you see? Try to make it focus, it won't focus. Anyway, my phone is a piece of shit. And then you've got a lot of these kind of crappy signs. And if we go up the street, you can see we've got nothing but these crappy kind of signs. So, in the end, I just want to tell you that these kind of buildings, someone spent a lot of money on them. How many times have I driven by here? Many times. How many times have I pulled into this particular one? Zero. And I've been to this place maybe 2 times in the past 7 years. And I drive down this street, let's say every second day. So they're great failures to attract business. Oh, they still put up these, garbage signs. Why are they such a failure? Well, I don't really want to tell you that I don't want any of the stuff that's in the strip mall. And the coffee shop, I drink coffee at home. But this is just typical. Okay, I'm not going to be able to give you any new information today. I'm not going to talk about anything at all other than, no, I'm not going to be able to talk about it at all. I'm just going to burn up this videotape on nothing in particular. I don't have any subjects. I don't have any objects. I don't have any inspiration. There's ducks, though. I'm not going to pet them. I don't think they want to be petted. This building here is the Masonic Lodge, and it was built in 1972. It looks like it's going to be torn down, and they're going to turn it into residential lots. It's in very good shape for a 1972 building. I mean, it looks like it was just built. The architecture kind of reminds me of 1980s, but there's no deterioration whatsoever. It's perfectly kept, and it's going to be torn down. The question that comes to my mind is, why have the Masons failed as an organization? They taught, I don't know, I'm not a Mason. My grandfathers were Masons. And from what I can gather from Masonic books, a lot of odd stuff, numerology perhaps. They talked about the great architect, who some people thought it was like the supreme being or whatever, but I tend to think of the great architect as the architect from the Matrix. But anyway, back in those days, if you were a Mason, there was so many Masons around that they, you know, helped each other out. These days, I met one young man in Vancouver who said he joined the Masons. So in my whole life, I know one young person who joined the Masons out of God knows how many tens of thousands of people I've met in my lifetime. So the point of the matter is, it's a failed organization. Why did the Masons fail? Part of it perhaps was their secrecy. Apparently, in order to become a Mason, they wouldn't recruit you. You had to be curious enough about them to go and ask them and say, you know, I'm curious about it. So there was zero recruitment. And then they have very weird induction ceremonies where you've got to put a hangman's noose around your neck and, you know, basically wear half a shirt so one of your nipples is exposed, and promise never to expose the secrets of the Masons, or you will be put under the Masonic curse that you basically want to be dead. No one knows why such an organization ever arose in the first place. Something to do with the Rosicrucians, and I have no idea. It was all this idea, perhaps, of ancient alchemy, turning lead into gold, or turning humans into something decent. The Masons had a very bad record, however. In the United States, there was a conspiracy. It wasn't a conspiracy theory. It was a true conspiracy of the Masons to rule the United States. And if you look into the architecture of Washington, D.C., it's got masonry all over it, even in the design. If you look at the aerial view of Washington, D.C., masonry symbols everywhere. And then we've got the Masonic Illuminati, who may or may not be Masonic at all, but apparently use the Masons as a recruiting ground so that they could get them into their devil worship, Luciferian cannibalism and adrenochrome and all kinds of making events happen on Masonic numbers. The assassination of John F. Kennedy, for example, is loaded with Illuminati Masonic symbology. So it still seems to be used by people like presidents of the United States. Why? Because they're all insane. They're all insane. I used to want to say stupid, but they seem to have a method to their madness. So they seem to have people like John Podesta and his brother as their leaders, who are apparently intelligent but very twisted. Some people might think it's a joke that Katy Perry makes videos about cannibalism. I don't know. I mean, how far do you want to go down that rabbit hole? Is she still... I don't know. I don't really find it amusing. I find it distasteful. You know, it's like trying to make something really disgusting funny. I don't know. It's just... we've got too much of it. There's too much of this making disgusting, twisted stuff and then saying, oh, it's just a joke. Because our whole society has become a twisted disgust. And it's no joke. I'm Harry Weaver.